Welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We're bringing you Transformers news from around the world in Australian accents. This is episode 213. We are recording live on Friday, the 19th of June, 2020. We haven't done a show in about a month, and I can't believe that date is correct. In this episode, we will be talking about new Transformers hitting Australian retail, more Masterpiece images being leaked, and Hasbro makes the greatest Amazon pun ever a reality. All that and more is coming up on this week's episode of Australian Transformers Weekly after this.
Weekly.
Welcome to the show. I'm Jason. Joining me this week, we have Bradley coming to us from all the way over in Perth. I believe still part of Australia. Is that right?
We like to think of ourselves as
checking my notes.
Australia that the world does not know about. You know, everyone knows about Sydney in the east.
You're actually the part of Australia that doesn't really have coronavirus.
Well, yeah, that's true as well. That's just because we've completely shut our borders and we have guns, very big guns, pointed outwards from the state.
Well, I remember the other day, our premier was like, "Hey guys, we're reopening borders. You can travel to WA now." And then your government was like, "No, you're fucking not."
So yeah, the borders might be open on your side, but when you go through and come to our side, that's where you'll find them closed from our end. Yeah.
Has WA got like the iris on the Stargate? So like the border's open on the SA side, but you just splat into the iris because they've closed it.
Oh, very much so.
Does anyone know the signal that they need to send through to open it? Is it just like we have your minerals or something?
No, it's constantly changing.
Fair enough. It's very secure. It's on constant rotation. And joining us from Adelaide, prematurely talking about his time in the politics of the of SA and WA. Max Tibby, how are you doing, Max?
Doing well. It's been too bloody long.
So, it has. You've attracted weird growth on your chin in the meantime. I don't know what's going on there.
It's weird growth. I think they call it laziness or something like that.
No, I know that feeling. I actually just got rid of my ISO beard sometime this week as well. Bradley's is just continuing to grow.
Oh yeah. We should swap Max and myself, so it looks like clean shaven, starting to grow, fully grown.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the middle here. You've got something that's actually respectable, as opposed to just not leaving the house for 3 months.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. Yours takes time, dedication, and actually, it doesn't really take effort, does it? Well, no. Sort of, yeah. No, I think we talked about ISO beards in the last episode actually, because we are still in the midst of a global pandemic. For people who are listening to the podcast 50 years in the future, hello, and a big hello to our new alien overlords. But so this podcast is still being recorded in the middle of a pandemic. The last time we did it, I think it was probably a month and a half ago. Severe lockdown. Now in Australia, the lockdown restrictions have started to be eased a little bit. And if you're in the up and down the eastern coast, if you decide to attend a Black Lives Matter rally, there's apparently no lockdown restrictions whatsoever, but you might get arrested these days. So how have you guys been coping with isolation and lockdown and things like this? Bradley? No change?
No change. I have fallen once again down the steamed hams rabbit hole from looking at YouTube. But other than that, no change at all.
You're going to have to explain that one. The what rabbit hole?
The steamed hams rabbit hole. You know, steamed hams from The Simpsons? Yeah. Steamed hams from
it doesn't speak for itself because Max, you just yelled over the explanation.
It explains itself.
Yeah, exactly. You could tell anyway. You didn't need to hear the explanation. It's fine.
It's all good.
Max, how are you handling lockdown?
Alcohol and anime.
The steamed hams, right, is...
Alcohol and anime, that explains itself, right?
Yeah, that's self-explanatory.
Yeah. Now, so Max, have you been continuing to work through this? Because I know you have a job. You have a job at Coles that you can't really do from home.
Yeah, so it's been all right. It's been pretty up and down, I guess. Start of the whole thing, it's batshit insane. Then you couldn't get work anywhere because no one was leaving the house. And now it's just sort of varies from week to week. Not really complaining. I'm still getting paid and haven't got coronavirus, so whatever.
Oh, I think that's a bonus on both fronts.
Yeah.
I'm working from home. I've been working from home since March, and frankly, I feel like I haven't actually been busier for a long time. Like, my nights are now very regimented. I have like a messenger call with my family because my dad's in Melbourne and my sister's in London, and like I have a call with them every night at like 8 or 8:30, and so I scramble to get dinner done before that and do a bit of shopping and take the dog for a walk, and then suddenly I have like 2 or 3 hours to myself a night, and it's sort of not enough time. I also, as I don't think we talked about this in the last episode, I've moved house. I think last time we did an episode, I had not started packing up the study in my old house, but I have now, and I've moved. I've changed address, which meant putting every single transformer I own into a box, some of them very carefully, some of them not so carefully. It was kind of a harrowing experience, but also I now have a storage cage that has a shitload of transformers in boxes neatly packed away inside it. So that's been going really well. As you can you can't really see on the split screen view. Let me put myself up full screen. So I have a couple of shelves. No, I'm like a TV weather girl. I've got a couple of shelves behind me, and there's going to be
explosions.
Yeah, watch out. There'll be explosions. There's going to be another shelf behind me, and there'll be another shelf on the wall behind me as well, which is whatever. That didn't go very well at all. So I'm looking forward to actually having enough space for some extra shelves, spread some figures out, have a nice display. I probably won't put lighting on the new shelves immediately, but I'll work it out. So shelves are arriving tomorrow. We're getting a bunch of new furniture and stuff. It'll be lovely. So like that's been good. My new place has cheaper rent than my old place and is markedly better. And because I've been working through the pandemic, I have had a lot of money sitting around in my bank account. I may have made a few large purchases that we'll talk about when we get to the acquisitions side of things.
Do you mean large prices and small figures?
Yes, I do, and some not so small figures, but we will figure that out when we get to it. So without further ado, shall we get into some news? We're going to move swiftly on and get to the news. Straight into news.
Hasbro news.
That will take us into some news.
What news comes from by yonder?
We have new toys to talk about. Let me bring up the news screen share, and of course the figure of the week that everyone is talking about is Lynx. The Commander Magnificent himself is now available on Australian shelves. Now, have either of you guys gone for a Lynx?
I've gone for it, but it has
it eluded you.
Materialized. Yeah.
Max?
I've been tossing and turning about it, I guess. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well,
it doesn't fit in much, but it's a beautiful looking figure.
Well, we should just cover off the basics. So he is the second Commander class figure. Last year, Jetfire was the first. Skyfire is the second. He is, of course, an update to the Generation 1 Skyfire. Features an officially licensed NASA
You mean
shuttle.
Lynx?
What did I say? Lynx?
Skyfire.
Skyfire. Did I say Skyfire? That's weird.
Yeah.
So Lynx. Officially licensed NASA mode, and just in case no one noticed, his shuttle name is Magnificence, which is fantastic. Kudos to Hasbro. There are two shuttle figures in the Earthrise line this year, and both bear the NASA designation, so they've been officially, well, maybe the old modes haven't been officially licensed from NASA, but the NASA logo has been officially licensed. So we're getting Skylynx a little bit ahead of the rest of the planet. Well, maybe not all of them. There's been a few figures creep out, but we are one of the first markets to get Skylynx, and we're getting them at a good price as well. The regular price for this guy will be $149, but he's currently available exclusively at Big W at their Toy Mania sale, which I believe goes for about two more weeks or something. And he's available at a very good price of $119. I paid more than $119 for Jetfire last year. I think I paid about 125, 126 for Jetfire. If you don't get him at the Big W toy sale, he will go on general release later in the year as well, probably at $149. But if you really have a problem getting him, you can probably wait for him to turn up cheap on Amazon. I believe Jetfire got down to $80 at one point on Amazon, so like it can definitely happen. So yeah, I do have a Skylynx acquired for me, but I haven't got it yet, so I'll be getting him next weekend.
No, fair enoch.
Yeah.
Be interested to see how he turns out for you.
Like by all accounts, he's a pretty nice figure. We've known for a while that the leader class price point being $90, they've been giving us Voyager figures with armor and stuff like that. When you add on sort of another $50 or $60 of budget, you get a lot of extra little bits that can move around and paint applications and just clever little things that the figure can do. And I mean, let's not forget he does have a space shuttle and a Lynx alt mode as well.
Yeah. And he's looking pretty good. Yeah, like I said, he's yet to trickle over in WA. I have seen reports of people, citing him in like Big W and other stores, but there's only been like 3 per store, which I think over East, I think you were saying, Jason, that they're getting like shelf ends and whole areas just filled with Skylynxes, aren't they?
They are. It's kind of weird, right? The figure has been listed on Big W's website for a while, but you couldn't add into your cart. And then he turned up in stores at $149. Big W's sale started online on Tuesday morning, and so the price on the website changed to $119 on Tuesday morning. About 500 people came on at once and ordered him, and so he's been out of stock ever since online. But there's plenty of stock in stores, but I believe none of them actually show up. Let's see whether let's try this live and see whether or not the store locator shows any stock near me. So Pagewood apparently has stock, whatever. I'm not going to Pagewood. Other stores, yeah, sure, no. So apparently, look, Campsie and Rockdale have stock. So never know, might have some luck if you go there. That's not the only thing on sale at the Toy Mania sale as well. You can get Earthrise Leaders, Astrotrain, and Optimus Prime for a cool $50.
And they're both very well worth it.
That's Voyager price. They are both well worth it. We will be looking at a slight update to the Earthrise Optimus Prime shortly as well. So this is not the only figure to hit Australian shelves and make waves this week. Today we also found out that Kmart is getting the Legion G1, the Legion class G1 Minibots. Now 4 of these went to Cotton On. Probably it must have been a couple of years ago now. So we had Bumblebee, Swerve, Outback, and Tailgate. They managed to get out to Cotton On, but the 5th and 6th ones pictured here, Warpath and Gears, never actually seen their reissues in Australia. Although they did turn up at, I believe it was the Walmart reissues about a year ago in the States. So it's good to see that these figures will be coming out here. It's less good to see that they're $19, but whatever.
Someone's going to buy them regardless.
Someone is going to buy them regardless. Now, finally, so these literally popped up on Kmart's website today. They have been cited in stores in Queensland, but they haven't been cited anywhere else yet. I think they'll turn up in the next few days. The other reason you might want to head to Kmart is the War for Cybertron Netflix figures have made their way to Australian retail. As promised back earlier in the year, the Netflix series figures have turned up in June. sort of in the tail end of June, but turn up they have. There is a plentiful supply at a bunch of Kmarts. I've seen enough stock on shelves that like it's like I've walked into Toys R Us in Singapore. There's lines and lines of Deluxes and Voyagers. It feels like Kmart's got the same amount of stock of these figures as you would expect to see sprinkled around Kmart, Target, Myer, and Big W if the figures were not a Kmart exclusive. So there's a lot of them around. As you can see, I've acquired a couple, and my cat was not that happy about them. Actually, no, he was fine. But so I called the Broadway store this afternoon to see if they had any Transformers in stock. That's how see if they had any Transformers in stock was how the customer service person read my query, and then she went off and looked at the shelf, and then she came back and said, "I'm sorry, we've only got the Netflix ones in stock." I was like that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, and I'll see you in an hour. So I went along. I had a good look at them on the store shelves. I actually went in expecting to get maybe a scrap face and maybe a side swipe as well. And I got to be honest, I looked at scrap face and I didn't really like his paint applications. I like the color scheme, but the paint applications just seemed a bit haphazard on him. So
is that the reflector repaint?
That's the reflector repaint. Yep.
Yeah.
He's a really nice blue color, but I just didn't like the way that the red was applied to his legs. And Mirage as a Decepticon is weird enough that I went for that. And of course, I got Hot Link because it's the last of the Siege Tetrajets, and also he's got a pretty nice purple, black, and yellow or orange color scheme to him, and you got to appreciate that on a Decepticon, right?
Yeah, so it just looks like the most Decepticon-looking Decepticon you could have.
Absolutely.
Also,
his face sculpt is having none of your shit. Like he does not look happy. In fact, I think I actually So I just realized I actually put the gallery here as well. So I unboxed them there. So Mirage comes with a piece of something you can see next to it. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so there's Mirage. Now, in terms of like the paint applications, like they're kind of weird. They're a bit all over the place. The Netflix color palette seems to be really dark on these figures. There's a lot of really dark shadows and shades, but I liked the fact that the purple still sort of came through on this Decepticon version of Mirage. So there he is, and there's just a bit more of a close up of the face and some of the paint applications there.
Mm.
And there's my cat. Cat decided to make this a lot more difficult than it was. So there's Hotlink. So we should talk about the price. So overseas, we've seen that the Netflix Deluxes and Voyagers are slightly more expensive than they were for their Siege equivalents. Them coming to retail here at Kmart is actually really good for us because the Deluxe figures are $29. That's the cheapest Deluxes that we've seen for a long time. The recommended retail for Deluxes has been $34, $35 for a while. In fact, if you go to other stores in the same center as Kmart and find Earthrise Deluxes, they'll be $40. So $10 more. So $29 for the Netflix Deluxes. And for the Voyager figures, bearing in mind the Voyager figures include 2 Battle Masters. Now, the Battle Masters I think were $10 each on their own. So the fact that the Voyager price point is still $49 is pretty damn good. So you get a Voyager figure and 2 Battle Masters for the price of a Voyager.
That's pretty good.
And there's his Battle Masters. So these are Heat Wave and Heartburn. They're the weirdest names for a couple of Battle Masters, but there they are. Yeah, my cat.
Your cat seems to approve very, very.
He's like, okay, whatever.
Barely.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the figure that everyone wants to see. This is how Hotlink looks out of the box. Really quite nice. The paint on him is really nice. It doesn't look you can see there's still sort of like the Netflix grey smudge and stuff over him, but the purple really does pop on him. It's really nice. And there's that face sculpt. He is having none of your shit.
He works in IP.
Nice.
He doesn't.
What's that?
Doesn't the character? It's just a joke.
Oh, fair enough. He comes with a couple of weapons blast effects as well, and yeah, very happy with him. He's got these little orange highlights on his wingtips as well, which I quite appreciate. And he has a really good looking alt mode.
Is he the only Tetrajet that comes with paint on the robot mode face? Because I think the other ones have just been stock grey, haven't they?
I think the other ones actually are silver. I don't think the others are unpainted, but I think this is the only one that actually is sort of like painted up, sort of cartoony. But, yeah,
looks pretty good. For some reason, I'm getting an Armada Starscream vibe from that face, but that could just be the toy.
I see what you mean. I think it might be more to do with the Cybertronian forms around him as well. But yeah, not out of the question.
Looks pretty nice. I do like the. Is it pink or is it just showing up as pink on the camera?
Let's go with light purple.
Light purple. Okay.
he's got
pretty nice.
He's got there's like 1, 2, 3 different shades of purple all over him.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Let's move on. So first of all, actually, before we move on, are you guys looking at picking up any of the Netflix figures at your Kmarts?
The only one I'm slightly interested in is Megatron. That's just because I didn't get War for Cybertron's Megatron, and this one actually does look a bit more Megatron-y. But when you were at Kmart, did it look like they had the whole range or just a few figures? Did you say
they have Megatron and Hot Link and all the Deluxes, but we haven't seen the spoiler box with Ultra Magnus turn up in Australia yet.
Okay.
We don't know if it will. So yeah. How about yourself, Max?
I think that Mirage is definitely on the radar, just because it's kind of like, I'm not really collecting Siege too much, but it's quite a unique kind of take on the character, and it also just looks really bloody nice paint-wise. So I think that's definitely something I consider picking up if I came across it. Otherwise, it's it's neither here nor there for me. Don't have any complaints of a line whatsoever. It definitely is all a lot of good, like promising looking stuff. It's just not for me necessarily.
Yeah,
fair enough too. We don't know if there's going to be other waves in the series, or if this is just it.
Does it say on Mirage's bio or anything as to why he's a Decepticon? And is this before or after Autobot Mirage?
Nope, he has no bio.
Oh, okay. He's just a Decepticon because it looks better for color reasons.
Pretty much. It is interesting. Someone asked in the discussion group on Facebook. So he's been collecting Siege for the last year, and so now the figures that he got in Siege aren't going to be in the show, and he needs to buy more to represent what's in the cartoon. So I think it's an interesting question, and I wonder why. I wonder why they've done things like Scrap Face, where they could just use Refractor. There's no need to create a new character.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the only thing it smacks of greediness. Releasing a toy so soon after as a repaint, just to get some more money.
Well, of course, it is the second time that Refractor's been repainted. There was the Refractor Reconnaissance 3-pack that was coloured like his Toys G1 versions with the red, blue, and aqua.
True, and also this Mirage could just be like a flashback that you see like once in the show. We don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. There is always a bit of question over Mirage's allegiance. So fair enough.
Yeah, true. That as well.
All right. Now that we are talking about Netflix's War for Cybertron series, let's talk about the fact that it's been delayed.
Yeah, let's talk about the postponement.
So the series was meant to be hitting Netflix in June, and Lindsay Rousseau, who's the voice of Elita 1 in the series, commented on her Instagram account, and she said that she doesn't know when it's coming out. It was meant to be June, but they are still trying to get dubs into foreign languages happening. So apparently the show is complete and ready to go in English, but they need to get the voices dubbed for the overseas presentations, because Netflix likes to drop these things all at once in different territories, so they need translations and dubs. So fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not really looking.
It's not going to stop Hasbro, but
yeah, I'm not, sort of on the edge of my seat for this series. So it could be delayed, it could be cancelled, it could be deleted. I don't really care.
I think I've spoken many times about the trepidation with which I approach this show, but yes.
Yeah. What about you, Max? You looking forward, or you don't care?
I'll watch it. It remains to be seen how it goes. I'll go in with open eyes. I
hope so. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it.
The Zing.
Set myself up for that too.
You really did.
What was I going to say here? Yeah. With little point about the show is, if I'm not mistaken, they've released exactly one trailer of this entire thing, despite it's supposed to be having come out this month.
I don't think they've done much in the way of sort of public announcements or anything.
And not even just in terms of trailers and information, that fan-oriented stuff. It just hasn't really been any marketing to speak of.
Yeah.
We got that one trailer and that was it. Now, obviously, Corona might have affected that, but you'd think given this month was supposed to be the original release date, they would try and promote their show somewhat.
So I did hear about 2 months ago that it was going to be delayed and wouldn't hit June, but I couldn't get any confirmation of it, and no one really had any links to a source going around at the time. So we didn't really talk about it very much. But it seems to me that if they knew it wasn't going to hit June, they probably didn't ramp up any marketing for it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. It's also weird that the only sort of correspondence we're getting is from one of the voice actors, not an actual official, saying.
It is interesting. Maybe the producers and the more the production company, they don't interact with fans on social media.
Yeah, they also may not have a date set in concrete as for when they can get the translations complete. So maybe that's why they've been silent as well.
True. It's always nicer to announce things when you actually have information to announce rather than, we'll get back to you. So I would say that this is probably going to prompt a more official response from the production. We'll see how it goes.
Mm.
There's as we did promise another look at a new Earthrise Optimus Prime a little bit earlier. We've been seeing some photographs going around of a supposed sleep mode black Optimus Prime for a few weeks now, and there was a rumor that we were going to be getting an other universe or an alternate universe Optimus Prime. Now, it turns out that the other universe Optimus Prime, it turns out it's the dead universe Optimus Prime. The dead universe has been sighted on the map that comes in the Earthrise figures, and this guy is going to be an Amazon Prime Day exclusive, apparently. So every year, everyone makes a joke about Optimus Prime on Amazon Prime Day. This year, it's really going to happen. Whether or not it's a US exclusive or anything like that, we don't really know. But he is a black or at least dark grey desaturated version of Earthrise Optimus Prime. He looks nice because Earthrise Optimus Prime looks nice. Whether or not you really need an almost dead Optimus Prime, I don't know. I've got enough of them.
I think that might be more for like the diorama collector that wants to have, a dead Optimus Prime with the Autobots around him.
Maybe so you can see his head's been banged up a little bit.
Yep.
And that's kind of the only thing that has. On the packaging does show so the packaging you can't maybe I don't know if you can see it here. You
can see it's just like a smashed up truck grill, I think.
Let's see if I can make this work.
Okay, here we go. We're doing it live.
I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's coming.
Let's try another one.
Something maybe no.
White screen. But yeah, I think from what we can see of this picture, it's just a smashed up cab truck, Optimus Prime truck cab.
Yes, it's a smashed up cab truck. It's got Optimus Prime inside. So it's about the same size as the Earthrise leader class because it's packaged the same way. And you can just sort of see on the bottom on here, it's the reflection of Ultra Magnus and Hot Rod and Arcee from Optimus Prime's deathbed reflected in the cab window, which makes it all very sad. So basically, Amazon is going to kill Optimus Prime for Prime Day, and we're all going to buy it.
Yeah, pretty much. So is this like a Prime? So it's Amazon Prime Day, Optimus Prime?
God, it should be.
I'm sure someone will buy it because of that.
I don't know. But so sorry. There we go. Just going back to these photos. So the figure has been floating around in sort of like factory sneak outs for a little while, and it looks like he comes with an extra rifle or something.
I don't know what the deal with the rifles is because every photo that I've seen it's deliberately designed. He can't hold the rifles. And I think that's actually a feature.
Let's be honest, that's pretty common, right? I don't know what's with the sword for that Optimus Prime either. If it was if I was Amazon and I really wanted to be really tacky, I'd be branding the trailer. And also, it has also been said that selling a dead Optimus Prime is the perfect metaphor for 2020. So
I like it.
In the intervening weeks between podcasts, Takara Tomy has announced a new. Actually, I don't think. So we have a new Masterpiece movie, Ratchet, which is here. But there are some new in-hand images of MPM 10, which is the new movie Masterpiece version of Starscream. Now, are either of you guys interested in acquiring this new MPM?
I had, when I was collecting the movie toys, I did have the Masterpiece movie Starscream, but is this a reissue or is this a completely new toy?
I believe this is a new toy.
This 100% brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't collect the movie toy anymore, so this isn't on my radar.
Yeah. I mean, it's not on my radar because it's a movie toy. Max, how about yourself?
Look, for me, there's a lot of parts of the Bay movies which I absolutely adore, and there's a lot of parts which I can't stand in the slightest. I would count Starscream amongst the latter, so I will not be picking this guy up, as much as I'm sure he does look like an excellent figure.
Yeah, no. Apparently he is quite good. There's people who have had their hands on him have said that he's quite a good figure, but I'm not terribly interested myself.
Yeah. I mean,
it does have a very nice looking alt mode, actually.
Yeah, that's what I remember about the Masterpiece one I had was his alt mode was amazing. Like, it actually did look like, a real world jet, which is obviously what it was meant to look like. And the transformation was interesting. I don't remember it being overly complicated. And the alt mode, underneath, it actually looked smooth. It didn't look like, a folded up robot under a jet. It actually did look like you could display it as an actual, raptor or whatever he is meant to be.
This one does look a little bit like a folded up robot under a jet, but that's okay.
Especially with the weapon sort of just stashed underneath that saw blade there.
I hate it when what is he, an F-15? I hate it when F-15s fly past with chain saw blades attached to their
don't get me started. The amount of times that a tree has lost its top just because an F-15 has buzzed the house.
What about when you're standing at a bus stop with a balloon on a string and that F-15 just goes past and your balloon goes away? Right?
Man, that just ruins my whole day.
I know. It's a tragedy, but yes. All right. So look, that's MPM 10. let's move on a little bit. We do have a lot of stories to cover. So
I wonder if he comes, because he's got an open mouth. I wonder if he comes with a puking mechanism.
Maybe his mouth opens and closes. I don't know. Maybe it's articulated.
Yeah, it looks like it. But, like that brief scene in like Revenge of the Fallen where he pukes on Sam or something. It's just like, wonder if you can put water in that mouth and just...
I'd probably block that out. I don't remember it.
Very good.
Another figure that is making its way to Australia is the Generation Select Piranacon repaint. So we've been seeing the Seacons come through EB Games and Zing, and Takara Tomy recently announced that they were going to be selling a set of Seacons, well, 5 Seacons to form God Neptune with a slight repaint and a Trident. And this is it. It's God Neptune. He is coming to EB Games in when does it say he's coming out? The end of October at the moment for the princely sum of $398. Now that is $400 for essentially 1 Voyager and 4 Deluxes. Don't know how you feel about that, but I'm feeling a little bit trepidatious about that price.
Yeah, I am. I've been looking for like the complete set of the 6, and that's going for like $1,000 on eBay. I'm very. I just. I'm not interested.
These.
Yeah, I'm not interested in this. Like, I do like the God Neptune character, but I want the 6 Seacons. Damn it.
So I weirdly enough, I fully sat down one night and I loaded this up and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get God Neptune. And I hovered my mouse over the pre-order button and I went, I don't even know who this character is. Why am I buying a God Neptune? And I didn't.
The only God Neptune that I know of, I know he was a repaint of the G1 toy, but the only one that I've seen in this color scheme is from Shattered Glass Beast Wars, and that was only a few years ago. So I think this is a different iteration of that character.
It is. There is a legit God Neptune really does exist in the sort of Japanese continuity from which the Seacons come from as well. But I've not partaken in that continuity, and like I was looking at this, just going, "Wow, that looks pretty." And then I was like, "Is it $400 pretty when I don't really know where it's come from?" Maybe not. Maybe not. It might just be a little bit too much for me. So, bye, God Neptune. I did not purchase you.
Yeah, this is sort of the logical repaint for Piranacon. But at the same time, this is very, very niche.
Oh, it's very niche, but that is also kind of what makes it appealing to put in collector's sets as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, people do gravitate towards this sort of stuff. Like, I won't pretend I wasn't tempted, like Jason, before seeing the price. Yeah, that's true. It is very expensive for what it is. And the Seacons themselves did have enhancements to their molds, which really you can see why they're priced well above the sort of $35 to $40 for the Deluxes, which a lot of the figures were. Like they had little extra bits that moved around and extra enhancements to their molds, but I don't think it's $400 worth.
I mean, maybe if the character was better known.
Maybe if the character was better known. But if the character was better known, it probably wouldn't be a Japanese Generation Select exclusive.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Still, we should also mention that it is still good of EB Games to actually go to bringing this into the country for us and making it easy for us to acquire. So thank you very much, EB and Zing, for that.
And they'll be like, "Oh, we got a shout out on the podcast! Yay!"
Yes. Yeah. Look, I believe EB Games and Zing do listen to the podcast every other week.
Well, Michael Bay does as well. Remember that.
It's true. It's true. He does. I've been told. That lovely last Arcee modeling for us there. That is MP51 Arcee. There's been a bunch of new images released. This was a few weeks ago now, so you've probably seen this news floating around. They're from Dengeki Hobby Magazine. These images are probably the first time that I've actually seen this figure and just thought, yep, no, fine, I'll get it. I still think there's a few odd things going on with the chest design, but when you see the other poses and the accessories and stuff around it, like, you kind of don't care anymore.
Yeah, I was just thinking, with the chest design, this could be an older Arcee.
But like she really does fit with the other cohorts, the other movie masterpiece figures there. That's the G1 movie masterpiece, like the number of accessories and blast effects. It's a very clean alt mode. It's very clean alt mode.
The most impressive part of a whole package, really.
It kind of is, but it's almost to the point that the alt mode is almost boring.
Yeah, it could be. It just looks like sort of this very almost cliched futuristic car.
It's like it's coming out of the Jetsons.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the appeal there, is they've just perfectly translated that look.
Jetsons or Thunderbirds? I think I'm saying more Thunderbirds.
Maybe. So how are you guys looking at adding Arcee to your collection? Will you be acquiring an MP51?
Not an MP. Maybe the is it Earthrise? I don't know. Maybe that one, but definitely not the masterpiece one. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite blown away enough by it to consider picking it up. It's just something about it. I don't know what it is here, because objectively speaking, when I look at this figure, I cannot really pick out any flaws of it at all. It looks like a genuinely really excellent figure, but it just doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason.
It's a very Arcee has always had a very different design to most of the Transformers that we're used to. And it is almost that, like, she's almost a humanoid, a feminine humanoid with some extra bits stuck on for her car mode. So yeah, it is really different. And maybe that's the thing that you can't quite put your finger on. Yeah,
like, just sort of, you're in the sense that you're right. It is just, it looks like
there's a lot of very,
you've
very
bought a figure.
smooth.
Yeah, you've just bought a figure of a human wearing a suit, and then there's just a backpack slapped onto it.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
How about you, Jason? Have you pre-ordered or looking forward to this?
I have pre-ordered her because I cannot abide a missing number in my masterpiece collection. I do actually feel like Ocular Max Azalea. I feel like that nails Arcee's look a little bit better than Masterpiece Arcee, but also, like, it'll probably grow on me. It looks like the amount of articulation that they've put in the figure is actually really impressive. Like, the fact that she can pull off that pose that where she's sort of, leaning off to one side and supporting herself on her right hand, that's really impressive.
Yeah, it looks like they've really gone all out for posability and such. I think probably the most important thing will be its transformability, and probably maybe its its structural strength, because it looks like it may have a lot of delicate transforming parts.
It does look like most of the car shell is in that backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Last bit of news for tonight is that a box set of Studio Series Devastator, the disappointing figure that everyone's been assembling for the last 18 months, is on its way. And I do apologize if you are actually
looking forward to this. Looking forward to
acquiring it. I mean, you could have been buying them all along, but now you can buy them all at once in a single box set. This is coming from the UK, so the price is £400,
which will probably be 1,200 Australian, roughly.
It's probably about 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 for UK dollars.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, wait a sec, let's see whether or not this works live.
I found out the hard way like 12 years ago that it was almost triple, because someone was like, "Hey, I've got these headmasters for
It used to be.
And for like £90, I was like, ooh, and then I did the translation. It was like £270. I was like,
400 UK pounds in Australian dollars. What does Google say?
£400 equals $718.
And 63
plus a bit of GST, you're probably looking at $800. Plus Australia tax, you're probably looking at $900. Plus the we're just helping ourselves tax. Plus it'll be $1,000. So yeah, it could be $700, but it's probably likely to be closer to $1,000.
Yeah, no,
it's also not entirely clear to me. So it's been found on a website called NDA Toys. It does seem to have a Hasbro-esque product code, the E7301. But we have seen before, we saw this with Power of the Prime Dinobots, that while Hasbro didn't officially release it as a box set, there was another company that took it upon themselves to grab all of the Power of the Prime Dinobots and put them in one box and sell them to people. So I'm not sure that's...
Sorry.
I was going to say, I'm not sure that that's not what's happening here still. But go on, Max.
I was just going to say, I believe we've almost had the same conversation about those Dinobots in the past.
Yes.
Like, talking about a leaked listing. I'm sure I do remember having some form of discussion about, a purported listing of Power of Prime's Dinobot box set, and that never really come to fruition.
Well, it was like one store that was doing it. I think they were just doing it themselves.
Yeah, and the other thing that makes me cast a bit of doubt about this listing here is that, obviously, you put all those Studio Series bots together, it's going to be a lot of money, but I don't really see Hasbro being able to rationalize charging this much for any product aside from obviously Unicron. Right?
Well,
it doesn't match up with their regular retail prices, and it's just, I don't know how they're gonna market that 21. It just doesn't come across to me as something that's actually legitimate.
And it's also said that this is Studio Series Devastator, but it doesn't specify what it is, like whether it's a collection of the individual robots, or it says in the article it could be G1 inspired, screen accurate, or something different. So they got a high price tag, and then they haven't really confirmed as to what is in this box set.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't quite understand. There's a recommended retail price, a unit price, and a pack price, and then there's the ink VAT prices of all of those as well. I quoted the recommended retail price of £403, but it says unit price is $233, which is assumedly a buy price, and it says pack price is $467. Maybe, given that's the website, it's come off NDA Toys, maybe that's the shipped price. I don't know. We'll find out.
That could be just prices not for public consumption or something.
Maybe. So so it does appear that there is a box set of Studio Series Devastator coming. If it turns out to be like a G1 Deco inspired and you've been purchasing each of the individual bots, then wow, sucks. But you never know. Actually, what you want Devastator to be like.
The picture that we're looking at looks like, how the official movie toy released that really small Devastator that looked really weird and different. Yeah. That's what this picture looks like to me. But I hope for that price range, it's not going to be, I don't know, too drastically different like that was.
Hopefully. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Look, that is it for news. Do we have anything? Is there anything that we've forgotten? I mean, there's a lot of things that we haven't talked about, but is there any major stories you wanted to talk about in the last few weeks?
I can't really think of it as mentioning.
No, that's fine. Let's move on then. We'll take the news screen share away, and let's move on and talk about acquisitions and see if we can squeeze some acquisitions into the last 10 minutes of the show. Bradley, I know you don't have any acquisitions to speak of, but Max, I know you do have one that you've been looking forward to showing off.
It's a nice change of pace for once.
Yeah.
Been waiting for this guy a while. Finally came in. This is 3A or now 3-0's Deluxe Bumblebee from the movie.
He looks really nice.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about him other than buy one. It's just like, it's objectively.
Are all those joints ratcheted?
No, it's all... The best way I would describe it is it's like Figma smooth, you know? It's a very nice sort of... There's a smoothness to when you move it, but when you stop moving, it just holds in place rock solid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like that for every single joint. You know, it just buttery smooth when you want to pose it around, holds perfectly. The only issue I have with the figure, really, is that there's these little prongs just above the elbow, and you need to twist the forearm around, because if you don't twist the forearm when you bend the elbow, those are going to collide, and I feel like they could break. But literally, that's it. Otherwise, it's... I mean, obviously it doesn't transform, but it's just a perfect representation of the movie design. It just oozes character, you know? It's such a inherently expressive design for Bumblebee. And for the fact they just nailed it so nicely is fantastic. It means you get this great little centerpiece for your collection. So I'm really happy with it.
So is he $350? I can't quite remember.
He cost me $220, but I think he will set you back about the 300 mark now, because they've all gone up in price since release. Yeah, he's full, but I would say he's worth about 300. In all honesty, you know, he's full of die cast. Like, he's got that sort of like Bandai large Shogoken style thing where, you know, really concentrate die cast towards the legs, so it's all rock solid. You know, it's 3A obviously, so it's just detailing everywhere. It's got a really nice approach to the paint detailing, where it's not just little flecks of paint scratches everywhere, but it's actually a real nice subtle shading that differs over different kind of surfaces. So it looks like a bit of paint fading over the yellow Volkswagen parts, but then over some metallic rubber parts, it looks like sort of a light rusting, but nothing too major. It's just, yeah, everything has quite clearly a lot of love and detail put into it. So it feels like you're holding something that people have genuinely really cared about as they've made it, and it shows. Yeah, cannot recommend it enough.
Fantastic.
Cool.
It's taken them a little while and I think a change in company structure to get this figure out, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a staggered release, and because of everything that's happened, it's taken a lot of people a long time to actually get theirs. So, but now that I finally have it, could not be happier.
Excellent. And while we've got you on the wide full screen camera there, it looks like you've added quite a few things onto your shelves in the background there as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't really. You can see like the stuff behind me there is a bit cleared out, but then I've also added shelving to that pair of details behind me there, and then you can't see it, but there's another pair to my right. Essentially, just because housing's so buggered, and I'll graduate at the end of the year, trying to convert my room into more of an office space as opposed to a collection room. So move everything into these sort of glass displays, and you know, make it all look a bit nicer.
Yeah, nice. I'm going to be here for at least a year, hopefully a lot longer. So that's why I'm adding shelves now to the study now that we've moved in at the start of the lease, because I'd like to have a nice presentable collection display. And the ultimate goal is to clear the floor around in the room as well, and have my desk and have my collection on show.
Well, I imagine it'll help you feel more at home too.
Yeah, although I'll put myself on so people can actually see the mess that I'm sitting in. I really was happy to get out of where I was living in Redfern. Just that I didn't really like the place much at all. It's somewhere that we went to for a year and suffered the penance. So here now we're in a nicer place. It costs us less. We've got a lot more space. We've got storage. I'm looking forward to it. We should talk about acquisitions. I'm gonna put this back in the stream. So I've got photos of my acquisitions instead of holding them up. Like they are on the shelves behind me, but whatever.
A bit more professional.
A little bit. So I had honestly given up on getting this set. This is we're looking at the Takara Minibot set. It has winged its way to me over the past month from Canada. Excuse me. I in the wee hours of one morning in early May, I spotted an eBay listing that was going for this guy. I think it ended up being about $300
Wow.
which is comparatively cheap for the set. If you go on eBay, it tends to be listed for sale at $800, but those listings don't tend to move. So really, it's going for something below that. So I was happy to get it for the price that I got it. The Takara eHobby Minibots, they are alternate paint jobs of Powerglide, Gears, Bumblebee, Cosmos, and I think the other one is Warpath in there.
Is it Sea Spray?
I think it's Warpath. I should pull them out. So having acquired the set, I haven't opened them up yet, but I am going to at some point. I did not acquire this set to leave it in its box. I wanted to get them out and take photos of them. I really want to see how the white Bumblebee and the white Powerglide look. It has been pointed out to me that this set is actually sort of the link between the at the time recently acquired GoBots and Transformers. So most of these guys carry GoBot names.
Yeah, isn't the Bumblebee one Bug Bite?
I'm not sure that it's maybe it is Bug Bite in this set. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There is another Bumblebee that I've acquired recently.
Oh, do tell us more.
We'll get to him, but I don't think that's the next one. Maybe it is. So yes, it is the Sonic Blue Japanese concert exclusive from the Bump of Chicken concert. You can just see the Bump of Chicken logo on his right forearm there, and so he's a legend-sized Bumblebee. This is a $20 toy. It cost me about $70, maybe $80 to acquire. Someone went over to Japan, spotted this for me, and picked it up, and then lovingly brought it back and posted it to me. He looks lovely. I think he looks especially good in the setting in this photo. I think it really brings the blue out. But yeah, it's hard to say anything about him other than he's a $20 figure with a $70 paint job.
And I just thought of another name for him because he's the same color as a similar color to Blur, so he could be Blurblebee.
Blurblebee, yes. So he does come with a repaint of a Titan Master, who is Exosuit Kama Chama. I don't know how to pronounce it. Who is the lead singer of the band?
Oh, okay.
So it's not just the $20 Bumblebee figure. It's a $10 Titan Master figure as well.
Have you got a picture of the Titan Master, or is he still in the box?
I've left him in the box because I don't really care about it. But I wanted the Blue Bee.
Fair enough.
I have also acquired. I've gone on a bit of a spending spree recently, it must be said, and I purchased some yellow toys. Yes. So I can see everyone's amazed. That is indeed a yellow repaint of Generations Hound.
I was more worried. I was more taken aback by the Shattered Glass Ravage. I was like, finally, you got him.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So of course, Generations Hound came with Ravage. So the Shattered Glass Ravage repaint comes with Turbo Master, I believe this is, and his name is Turbo Master, but he's an homage to the Turbo Master Scorch from G1. But I don't think they could trademark Scorch, so he's just called Turbo Master. And the Ravage repaint is Shattered Glass Ravage, but he also is in the Kiss Players paint job.
Let's just call it Shattered Glass Ravage.
Shattered Glass Ravage, indeed. And of course, I'm burying the lead because at the back there is sort of my most expensive and most recent acquisition. Actually, it's not the most recent anymore because I bought Netflix figures tonight. That is Yellow Shining Magnus. It's a very, very, very limited edition set that was produced when Takara was pretty adamant that when Ultra Magnus held the Matrix in the 86 movie, it glowed yellow and not blue.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, it glowed blue, And so no one's really sure why they produced the yellow Ultra Magnus set, but damn it, it was in production already by that time, so they released the thing. And
maybe they were just taking the piss.
Yeah, well, yes, this is often called Piss Magnus.
Yeah.
So he's got a yellow prime cab and a transparent yellow trailer, which makes for a very striking figure when he's fully assembled. And at some point, I will once again take him out of his box and actually transform him and take some photos, but not tonight.
Good stuff. Does he come with like a bonus? Is that what that yellow part is highlighting, or is it just?
I am not sure, because when you look in the box there, you can just see the back of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if there's meant to be a bonus in there. I will have an answer for you sometime in the next few weeks. Okay.
It's just advertising the fact that the figure's yellow. So the box is sealed. So like, if there's anything in there, then like it'll be there.
Because I have seen pictures like what you've got here, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it in its robot mode. So I'll be very interested to see that.
Because everyone's too shit scared.
Too scared.
Well, I mean, so it's transparent plastic, so like it doesn't have a great reputation for longevity.
Yeah, as soon as you unbox it, you pick it up and it just evaporates.
Yes.
So hopefully that won't happen.
I don't believe that's actually that much of a problem with the Shining Magnuses, but I will at some point get it out of its box and take some pretty photos of it.
I look forward to seeing them.
I look forward to making them as well. And the other acquisitions, obviously the Netflix ones that we spoke about already tonight.
And the cat.
No, he's been around for some time.
Yeah, I know.
He's no longer mint in sealed box.
How's he liking the new place?
He likes it. He spends a lot of time under my bed. That's sort of stopped in the last few days. He now spends a lot of time asleep on my bed, which is okay. And lately he's claimed the washing pile as his own. So he likes to sleep on the washing pile. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Good for him.
Yeah, indeed. Good for him. I think that's about it. We've run just slightly over an hour. It'll probably come out to about an hour in the edit. Does anyone else have anything we need to talk about there?
No, nothing I can think of. Max, you got anything?
Got nothing.
Nothing up my sleeve, and presto, and I think that might be it then. Yes. Let's briefly mention that. So it is June. We are coming up to the end of the financial year, which means club memberships will be coming up for renewal. I need to have a chat with Simon about some of the stuff that we're going to be doing for membership in the new year. It's not going to be the same straight up renewal as the last couple of years. There will be a few differences, a few different things on offer. Keep your ears peeled for that. And so that is the end of the show. Thank you for listening, everyone. Check us out on Transformers Collectors Club Australia on Facebook. You can find all of us and have a chat there. Subscribe to the podcast in your podcatcher of choice, and you can find out more about the club at transformerscca.com. And Bradley, we can find you on Twitch at
twitch.tv/groovyguy0069. I'm in the process at the moment of sort of updating my features and such. So please do drop on in and have a look at some of the new subscriber exclusive stuff, which is pretty cool. And hopefully I'll see you there and we can have a chin wag about Transformers.
Have a chin wag, even though we can't see your chin behind the beard.
Well, I grow the beard to disguise the fact that I don't actually have a chin. It goes straight from my lower lip to my Adam's apple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That is all from us. You'll find all the information about these stories that we've spoken about in the show notes. Bradley's lack of chin will not be in the show notes. We will be. We keep making a joke of this because we've not been doing the show weekly for a while, but we will be back with more Transformers news next week.